Daniel found himself driving to the coast again, back to the harbor where he had first learned of Anna's fate. He carried the box with him, unsure what he intended to do, until he was standing on the edge of the pier, the sea wind pulling at his hair. He opened the box, lifting one of the letters. "Dear Anna," it began. Daniel read the words aloud, his voice trembling against the sound of waves. For the first time, he wasn't reading as Edward's son, but as someone who finally understood Edward as a man-flawed human, aching, but still devoted in his own way. When he finished, Daniel carefully tied the letters back together and placed them inside. He didn't throw them into the sea. He couldn't. Instead, he whispered, "I'll carry it for you, Dad. I'll make sure your love both, for her and for us, won't be forgotten." The journey back from the pier was different this time. Daniel no longer felt haunted by questions. Instead, he felt entrusted. As though his father had passed him a torch he hadn't known he was meant to carry. In the days that followed, Daniel began writing. At first, it was only for himself. Journal. Entries about his father. About the silence in their home. About the discovery of Anna. But slowly, the writing became something larger, a story. Not a confession, but a testament. Story about love that hides in plain sight. About fathers who show devotion, not with words, but with sacrifice. And about sons who come to see that silence differently once it's gone. He shared the draft with his mother one evening. She read it slowly, tears streaming down her face. "This," she said, pressing the pages back into his hands, "is the gift your father left you. Not just the box, but the lesson. And now it's yours to give to others." Daniel knew then what he would do. He would keep the wooden box, not as a secret buried in dust, but as a symbol of everything he had learned. And through his words he would ensure that Edward's story, his quiet, imperfect love, would live on. For the first time since his father's passing, Daniel didn't feel only grief. He felt gratitude. The silence had spoken at last, and he had finally heard it. Months passed and life slowly found its rhythm again. Yet for Daniel, nothing felt the same. He had returned to his job, reconnected with friends, even attended family gatherings. Outwardly, it seemed as though he had moved on. But inside, it carried a quiet flame that had not been there before, the flame his father had unknowingly passed to him.